Very good morning to everyone and warm welcome to IIT Bombay. I am Amber Srivastav, faculty with Mechanical Engineering Department here at IIT Bombay, and I happen to be faculty coordinator for the Tech Connect 2024 this year. So, along with me, Professor Himanshu Bahirat from Electrical Engineering is another faculty coordinator for the Tech Connect 2024. I welcome you all to this very special session. And to begin with the session, I request all the dignitaries to take their place up on the stage. First, I request Dr. Samir V. Kamath, Secretary DDR&D and Chairman DRDO, to join us up on the stage. Next, I request Professor Shirish Kedare, Director IIT Bombay. Please, Professor Milind Atre, Deputy Director IIT Bombay. Please, sir. Professor Sachin Patwardhan, Dean of R&D at IIT Bombay. And then we have Professor Surya Narayan Dula, Dean of Student Affairs at IIT Bombay. I request Professor Shirish Kedare to welcome Dr. Samir V. Kamath by presenting a bouquet of flowers. Dr. Kamath has taken over as the Secretary DDR&D and Chairman DRDO on 26th August 2022. Dr. Kamath completed his BTech in Metallurgical Engineering from IIT Kharagpur in 1985 and PhD in Material Science and Engineering from the Ohio State University in 1988 and joined DRDO in 1989. Dr. Kamath has provided leadership and direction to several critical materials programs in DRDO, such as development of high-strength steels for naval ship hulls, alloys and nickel-based superalloy-based components for aero engines, development of tungsten-heavy alloys for kinetic energy penetrators, development of fused silica radomes for missile seekers, development of armor solutions for personal as well as combat vehicles, and stealth materials for airborne and naval applications. These have found use in various systems being developed by DRDO laboratories, and there are obviously numerous accolades to highlight. And respecting the time constraints, I will refrain from mentioning all of those accolades. So with that, I would request Professor Milind Atre to address the gathering and say a few words regarding the landscape of translational research here at IIT Bombay.
Good morning and welcome Dr. Kamath. There are several projects that are going with DRDO here at IIT Bombay. And of course, COPT is playing a very important role in having such projects being done. But what is IIT Bombay's first motto today is that we don't want to do these projects in our laboratory only. And we would like to see that these projects ultimately reach out to the user community at large. And from that point of view, we have got various possibilities. We have got Research Park on the campus now. We have got Sign, from where the startups have come. And there are several startups, including Zeus Numerics, which is one of the first startup who is working very close with DRDO. And there are several startups now with the IDEX inputs that are coming very actively from defense orientation. And we would like to see that many such projects being carried out at IIT Bombay, wherein our newly formed idea of Translational Research Center, which cuts across all the branches, we would like to take a problem statement from outside industry or outside user community, and we would like to deliver it as a product to the user community, taking input from all the professors, all the facilities that are being developed at IIT Bombay, all the facilities that are sitting down here at IIT Bombay. Ultimately, once the translation happens, this can possibly come out in the form of a startup, or it can go to the user community. So this is a new idea, not only to take the ideas from inside from TRL 3 to TRL 9, but we would like to see if there are requirements outside in industry or in defense or in space, where we would like to take the requirement from them and deliver out to them, and that too in a given time of 6 months to 1 year. We don't want to wait for 3 years now as we used to wait, because the focus was on the research earlier. So still our fundamental research will be at the core, but we all would be happy if we could convert our fundamental research to actually applications, and that is what the focus of translation research activities will be. At IIT Bombay, we got around 800 faculty member and almost 150 faculty member who are on adjunct faculty or POP. Similarly, we got 14,000 students, out of which 500 are postdocs and 4,000 are PhD students. And we would like to see that all their PhD statements, all their research statements are applied in nature. And almost 60 or 70 professors have got their startups. So that shows that once the professor have startups, their PhD statement, their problem statement also becomes more and more applied. And we would like to see that more and more PhDs actually follow the way. And this is possibly one of the ways wherein the PhDs and MTechs from IIT Bombay, who graduate from IIT Bombay, will actually continue to be in core sector. We would not like them to go the mass that is going towards AI, ML or something like a frenzy, but possibly they were the future who would actually retain their core nature. And possibly the students are very happy to do that thing, provided they feel challenged on this sector. And of course, there should be remunerated properly, as compared to other sectors. So this is one of the ways that we discovered that we should, of course, go these ways. And from that point of view, we are trying to move in that direction. We are also thinking about having new centers. We got a drone center now. We are thinking of having a new center for defense equipment, defense technologies, because there are L&T and Godrej right across IIT Bombay campus. We would like to work with them very closely and possibly come with very innovative approach. Innovations, that is what we talk about right now. So Professor Makarand Kulkarni, if he's around, must have met in the morning also. We would like to start such a defense center, which would like to have more device orientation and technology at the core of it. So I'm sure such association with DRDO from all of you here, and the COPT, of course, which is focused on propulsion mostly, we would like to work toward these directions now and assist not only defense but also ISRO and atomic energy and of course rest of the industry world in this direction. We have got a research park on the campus where 100 industries going to be housed. We would like to take statements from them, problem statement from them also, and would like to deliver to them. I'm sure such meeting like visit Dr. Samir Kamath's visit at IIT Bombay will actually enhance and encourage and inspire a lot of youngsters, not only, and not a lot of faculty, but not only to do only research, but to convert this research into applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Atre, for sharing the glimpses of all the translational research activities which are going on at IIT Bombay. So, Tech Connect is a major R&D event of IIT Bombay, which showcases all the R&D efforts which are going on here at this institute, and a lot of emphasis is going on in the area of translational research. So, keeping that in mind, next I request Professor Sachin Patwardhan, the Dean of R&D, to introduce this Tech Connect 2024 event to everyone who is present here. Professor Patwardhan.
Our chief guest, Dr. Kamath, Director, Professor Kedare, dignitaries on the dais, colleagues, friends, students from college to schools, and very, very warm welcome to Tech Connect, premier event of Dean R&D office. The aim of this event is to showcase technologies developed in IIT Bombay, prototypes, ideas to prototypes, everything ranging from cradle to up to market, to different sections of society, different stakeholders, to school children, to college children, to get them excited about what we are doing, to industry, to let them know about what exciting research is happening in IIT Bombay, and also to alumni and all other stakeholders of IIT Bombay. So this is a flagship event which is which shows our commitment to innovation, excellence in research, collaboration with industry, and also projects that have large societal impact. IIT is known more for undergraduate education, but what we want to emphasize, underscore here, is that we have transformed over the years into a premium research institute with societal impact as one of the major focus. And this Tech Connect is meant to showcase what is our commitment to societal transformation. So here we execute large number of R&D projects each year. Something to the, if you put together R&D and consulting projects, it's about 2,000 different projects run through Dean R&D office. And the number of outcomes from these projects are immense, research outcomes. So what you are going to see in Tech Connect is just a glimpse of what is happening. At present, we have 67 PIs who are exhibiting their, as Professor Atre said, we have 750 faculty members, only a fraction of them are displaying their work here. In many cases, it is not possible to move equipment from the lab to exhibition. So this year we have also started Tech Symposium. So different departments, about 11 different centers and departments will be running in parallel a symposium consisting of lectures, group discussion, panel discussions, lab visits, and many exciting things in our convention center, VMCC. So this will happen in parallel to Tech Connect. So we are trying to expand the scope from just to exhibits of certain prototypes that we can bring here to something much more, getting a glimpse of our R&D ecosystem altogether. So what I want to emphasize here is it's a major exercise, and the postgraduate students who are involved in making this happen help us in big way, and also the research staff in Dean R&D who works with Dean R&D office, they help us make this happen. So there are about 500 volunteers consisting of MTech students, master students, PhD students, and also project staff working on different research projects. They volunteer to make this event happen. At present, out of 30 units, 25 different academic units are represented in the exhibitions. So a very, very warm welcome to all of you. And I hope you will enjoy, you will get excited, and we will be able to communicate our excitement of doing research to all of you, whichever way you are looking at it, either as a student or as an entrepreneur or as an industry practitioner, as a researcher from different labs or defense labs. So all of us here we would want to work with you to take this journey into innovation further. Thank you and welcome again.
Thank you, Professor Patwardhan. So the event Tech Connect 2024, it shares time and space with another flagship event of IIT Bombay, which is Tech Fest 2024. And as Professor Patwardhan was highlighting, the objective of the events is to reach a wider masses. So with that, I request Professor Surya Narayan, who is Dean of Student Affairs, to give a brief introduction to TechFest 2024 as well.
Good morning and welcome to IIT Bombay. Welcome to TechFest 2024. So most of you may be aware of TechFest. I think before even coming to TechFest, it's that popular, I can say. TechFest is basically annual science and technology festival of IIT Bombay. It is primarily led and organized by students. Faculty have very limited role to play, whereas in Tech Connect, faculty play a vital role. What we do is we have a network of ambassadors from various colleges and schools who actually promote. So we have close to 2,500 college ambassadors from all over the country, and they promote TechFest for us, whereas we have a core team of 24 members here, which is led by 2 overall coordinators, followed by around 800 people who actually organize event in the next 3 days, starting today. So the events basically ranging from workshops. We actually invite a lot of people to actually give plenary talks. We conduct several competitions, and every alternate year we actually try to get something new. It's not easy nowadays, but we always try to. It's not easy to get in technology space, but in software space it's quite easy. But so last year we actually brought something called as the International Drone League. Maybe if you have some time in the evening, it starts after 6 p.m. once it becomes dark. So it's one of the most popular event across the globe, which happens last year and this year we were able to bring it to India. It's called International Drone League. Please do visit. It doesn't last for more than an hour because the speed at which these drones move is so fast that the whole competition will last only for 1.5 hour. So I do invite all of you to attend that. In addition to that competition, one of the most popular competition in TechFest is basically the RoboWars. If you are coming to TechFest not attending RoboWars, I think you are making a big mistake. I would definitely urge all of you to actually attend RoboWars in the evening every day 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and don't miss it. It's a very unique opportunity. It doesn't happen anywhere in India other than at IIT Bombay. I don't want you to miss that competition. And we do conduct a lot of outreach activity for students in particular because one of the main objective of TechFest is to promote science and technology at school level. We want students to tell that there is a lot of excitement in life in science and technology. So with that motive, we conduct several workshops. Very interesting to see that this year we have large participation on artificial learning and artificial intelligence machine learning from school students. We have huge registrations. We have to really tailor make the whole program to make sure that they understand. Because it's a bit difficult for UG student to understand, but they want to understand at this level. So we thought that we'll completely rework on it to make sure that really fundamentals of those things were actually taught. So like this, each year we try to do something new. So we will continue to do the same thing and we'll make sure that science and technology is promoted at school level. And most of you are actually, I see a lot of school kids here. Maybe when you actually go to college, please try to be a brand ambassador for TechFest and take it to the next level. It's all your event. Thank you so much. Well, welcome once again to IIT Bombay.
Thank you, Professor Dulla. I'm sincerely looking forward to all the enthusiastic, energetic workshops and events coming under the wings of TechFest 2024. And I can, attest to the heat during the run-up to this event, what I have seen, all the volunteers working for it. So thank you for that enthusiastic introduction to TechFest 2024. So with that, now we have the stage set for the talk for which we all have gathered here. I request Dr. Sameer V. Kamath to take over the dais and show us all the emerging technologies which are upcoming. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for inviting me for Tech Connect. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight what we have accomplished in DRDO, give you a brief introduction to what we have achieved, and also focus on the road ahead and the opportunities that are available for anyone who's interested in working in defense R&D. So let me start with a brief introduction. So our vision in DRDO is to make India prosperous by establishing a world-class science and technology base and provide our defense services a decisive edge by equipping them with internationally competitive systems and solutions. So that is our grand vision. And our Prime Minister has also set a vision for the country that we have to become Viksit by 2047. He has also said that we have to achieve technology leadership, not only in defense, but in all other sectors by 2047. So our vision is broadly in line with the Prime Minister's vision. And our mandate is given here. I will not read it. The new two editions are because of the changing nature of warfare. Cyber defense, as you are aware, is going to play a very key role as we go ahead in warfare. And space-based defense or defense of our space assets and using space for providing information to the space or to the battlefield is going to play a key role as we go ahead. So these have been added to our mandates recently, and these fields are ripe with opportunities for doing cutting edge R&D. So broadly, DRDO, we are divided into 7 clusters, 7 technology clusters. These are missile and strategic systems, naval systems and materials, aeronautical systems, armament and combat engineering, microelectronic devices, computational systems and cyber systems, and soldier support systems. And to support these 7 technology clusters, we have 5 corporate clusters which are based in New Delhi. These support the 7 technology clusters to carry out their functions. So DRDO is a unique organization in the sense that we work across all TRL levels. So starting with research, that is low TRL levels, where we work with academia. Then as we move along the technology readiness levels, between 3 and 7, the work happens primarily in DRDO labs, but we work with MSMEs, we work with startups in this domain. Finally, when we reach TRL 7, we do a technology transfer to large industries, which finally produce these systems and deliver it to our services. But here also, we work closely with the industry for technology absorption, as well as supporting them for any design changes or upgrades which are required for our systems. So we are a unique organization which provides opportunity for any individual who joins the organization to have access to all the TRL domains. So missiles has been one big success story in DRDO. As you are aware, we work across all types of missiles. Our big successes have been in the strategic ballistic missiles like the Prithvi and the Agni series. But now we are looking at using ballistic missiles for tactical applications, and pointer is not working, but we are looking at missiles such as Pralay, which are quasi-ballistic and which can be used in tactical battlefields. We also work on cruise missiles. You all are familiar with the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, but we have also developed the Nirbhay, which is a subsonic cruise missile. We have developed a variety of surface-to-air missiles such as LR-SAM, QR-SAM, Akash NG, variety of anti-tank missiles which can be fired from the ground or from helicopters. We have developed an anti-radiation missile, NGARM, and we are working on longer range anti-radiation missiles such as the Rudram series, where you can damage the enemy's radar or suppression of the enemy's air defense systems. So if you have to win the war, first you have to suppress his air defense systems. So these missiles are useful in identifying and damaging the enemy's radar systems. So we have developed smart anti-airfield weapons, SAW, and a variety of air-to-air missiles which can be launched from the aircraft such as the Astra Mark 1, and we are in the final stages of developing the Astra Mark 2. We have developed a multi-barrel rocket system, the Pinaka, which has a range of about 39 kilometers. And now we have developed a guided version of this Pinaka rocket system, which can go up to 70 to 75 kilometers. Armored vehicles and land systems are again a focus area for us. MBT Arjun has been inducted into the service. The wheeled armored platform, I think, which is displayed in the exhibition here, this is again finding a lot of interest not only within our services, but a lot of export interest. In fact, Tatas are going to set up a manufacturing unit in Morocco to supply VAPs to a lot of African countries. Then we work on, or we have developed variety of bridging systems, whether it is the 46-meter modular bridge, the Sarvatra system, or the lightweight single-span mountain footbridge, or the lightweight advanced industry or infantry floating footbridge. So these systems have already been inducted into our service, and as I said, several of these systems now are finding a lot of export interest. Artillery guns and ammunition, again, is done by our armament and combat engineering cluster. The advanced towed array gun system is an example where we worked with industry right from the design and development phase. We worked with two industries, Bharat Forge and Tata Advanced Systems. And this advanced towed array gun system was developed and it is getting inducted into our service now. These guns have also found a lot of export interest and they have already been exported to some countries such as Armenia. So this is one of the longest firing artillery gun, 155 mm artillery gun. You can fire up to 48 to 49 kilometer artillery shells using this gun. So we have developed several guns such as the JVPC, the 9 mm machine pistol, a variety of hand grenades, the multi-mode hand grenade, the underbarrel grenade, variety of ammunition for our 155 mm gun as well as our tank guns, which are either 120 mm in the Arjun or the 125 mm in our T90 tanks and T72 tanks. So here we have done both the fin stabilized armor piercing, discarding sabot, as well as the high explosive shells. We have developed variety of munitions which include mines, which are for anti-personnel, anti-tank, and these are now getting inducted into our services. When it comes to aerospace and aeronautics, LCA is our major success story. LCA Mark 1 has already been inducted into our service. It's a 4th generation aircraft. LCA Mark 1A, which is a 4+ generation aircraft, where significant improvements in the radar, in the EW systems, in its weapon carrying capabilities and its avionics has been done, is about to get inducted into our service. In fact, production is going on at HAL, and hopefully by March 25, these aircrafts will start getting inducted into our Air Force. So this has been a great success story in the country. As you are aware, the last aircraft we had designed was the Marut in 1964. And after that, there was a dormant phase where all the expertise for aircraft design manufacture had become totally disintegrated, and this whole ecosystem was built by our LCA program, and now it is paying rich dividends. We are now moving on to LCA Mark II, which is a much larger aircraft, and we will graduate to advanced medium combat aircraft, which is a 5+ generation stealth aircraft. So this ecosystem which has been built because of the LCA is going to pay rich dividends to the country going ahead. We are also one of the few nations which have developed an aircraft which can land and take off from an aircraft carrier, which, as you are all aware, is a very challenging task because it's a moving runway and it's also a very short runway. So it imposes a lot of stress on the airframe when it lands or takes off. And we have modified the LCA by strengthening its undercarriage as well as the landing systems, landing gear systems. And we have demonstrated both a takeoff and landing from both our aircraft carriers with our Indian Navy. Going ahead, we are going to develop a twin-engine deck-based fighter, which is the Navy's future requirement, and that is going to start soon. This is another key development within the country. This is the equivalent of the AVAC system. This is Airborne Early Warning and Control Platform, NETRA, which is basically your eye in the sky. This provides our Air Force with a clear visibility of what other platforms are there in the sky at the same time within a range of more than 200 to 300 kilometers. And thus it gives, it not only collects this information, but is able to pass it on to the fighters which need this information to carry out this operation. And I'm very happy to tell you that this aircraft was used in the Balakot operations, which you are familiar with, which the Air Force carried out in 2019. So it has all the ESM, that is electronic support measures, the radar warning receivers, as well as the communication support measure. And it's one of the state-of-the-art weapon platforms. And it is based on an Embraer jet. We are now working on a more advanced system on a larger platform, which will give it a longer duration as well as a longer range. So unmanned aerial systems or UAVs, these have been a focus area for us. The director of the laboratory which works in UAVs is here. Our laboratory ADE works on a variety of UAVs. Although we have done small UAVs, but our focus is now more on the medium altitude, long endurance UAVs, which can fly beyond 20,000 kilometer altitudes and have an endurance of more than 10 hours. So these are mainly used for surveillance and reconnaissance, but we are looking at how to weaponize them in the future. These programs are currently underway. So radar is again one of our success stories. We have now developed capabilities within the country that we can design and produce any type of radars, whether it is land-based, ship-based, or airborne. The radar, the AESA radar, airborne electronically scanned array radar, which is going to go into LCA Mark 1A, is a product of one of our laboratories, LRD in Bangalore. But that same laboratory has developed a variety of radars depending on its need and application. And today we have radars which can see beyond 1,000 kilometers also. EW systems, as you are aware, whoever dominates the electromagnetic spectrum is going to have a significant advantage in the battlefield. We have developed capabilities within DRDO where we can do EW systems for ships, submarines, land, air, and several of these systems have already been inducted. These are some of the names which are listed here, and they are operational in our service and are giving our services that decisive edge which they need to fight in a battle. So as I said, we have airborne EW systems, ground-based EW systems, shipborne, as well as now we have launched a satellite-based EW system. Coming to communication, communication is very critical in a battlefield. We have a software-defined radio. These allow you to communicate across platforms, whether you are in a naval platform or in an air force or in an army. If you have software-defined radios and your own waveforms, you can seamlessly communicate. And with theaterization coming in, secure communication is going to be very vital. And this capability now exists within the country, which will make this network-centric warfare, which is the emerging way which wars will be fought in the future, a distinct possibility in the near future. We have also done SATCOM terminals and hubs and data links for our airborne platforms. Coming to naval weapons, we have developed heavyweight torpedo, which has been inducted into our service. We have also developed a lightweight torpedo, which can be fired from a ship or a helicopter. And as you know, today anti-submarine warfare is going to be a key capability if you have to. India is surrounded by the oceans, and we have our northern neighbors, submarines now coming increasingly into Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. So we need this capability to have weapons which can be used against submarines, and these torpedoes and mines are very critical for anti-submarine warfare. We also have anti-torpedo defense systems. So when our ships travel, you need a mechanism to defeat these torpedoes, to decoy these torpedoes. And we have developed an anti-torpedo defense system, which is basically a decoy system which takes the torpedo away from your main ship, protecting it from damage. Sonars, again, we have developed excellent capability. As you are aware, underwater, the radio waves get attenuated very fast, and only way of detecting anything over significant ranges is through sound waves. And the equivalent of radars for underwater detection are sonars. Here again, we have built capabilities which are sonars for submarines, sonars for our ships, and also airborne sonars which can be deployed from a helicopter. Variety of sensors, devices, and advanced electronics. Without these, you can't develop any system. So this capability is absolutely essential. And we have worked on variety of sensors, devices. In fact, we have a foundry, we have a gallium arsenide based foundry where we can do production of these electronic devices, the 3-5 compound semiconductor devices using that foundry at a pilot scale. Soldier support, finally, although the battlefield is becoming autonomous, the man still plays a very important role. And if a soldier, especially an Indian soldier, has to fight at high altitudes where the oxygen levels are very low, the temperatures are very low, and he also has to fight in the deserts of Rajasthan where the temperatures can go above 50 degrees. He has to fight in the jungles of Northeast where he has to face a lot of insects, mosquitoes when he's deployed there. So DRDO, we work on all types of products, solutions to help the soldier withstand these harsh environments. We also work on onboard oxygen generation for pilots who have to fly at 40,000 feet. There again, the oxygen levels drop. So we work on those technologies also. So soldier support is an important focus area for us. So just to highlight, as a nation, we are in an exclusive set of nations which have developed such products. For example, as I said, our ATAGS is the longest firing 155 mm artillery gun. The fuel cell based air independent propulsion which is used in our conventional submarines, we are among one of the 4 nations who have developed this technology. And this is done by a laboratory which is very close to IIT Bombay at Ambernath, NMRL Ambernath. And this is going to go into our first Scorpene submarine when it comes for refit in a year. So we are again one of the 4 countries which has developed a ballistic missile defense system which can give protection to a given area against ballistic missiles which are fired at that location. So the point I want to make is, over the years, we have developed significant capabilities, and today we can proudly say that we are among the leading nations in defense technologies and defense systems. We have also built advanced test infrastructure, and I have only shown 4 or 5 of them, because without this infrastructure, it is very difficult to develop military systems. So we have a hypersonic wind tunnel facility which is necessary because we are working on hypersonic missiles. We have a seakeeping and maneuvering basin facility which is necessary if you are designing any ship or submarine. We have an aeronautical test range at Chitradurga where you can test your UAVs. We have an open range test facility for testing all our EW systems. We have an extreme altitude research center at Changla. This is at altitude of about 17,000 feet. So, as I said, because of our northern neighbor, now a lot of our troops and equipment have to be deployed at very high altitudes. And whether these equipments will function at those altitudes have to be tested. So we have set up a test facility at those high altitudes to ensure that our systems can fire reliably or work reliably when required. So after giving you a broad overview of what capabilities have been built, since a lot of young people are here, I thought, let me show you what the road ahead is. This will hopefully excite some of you to join DRDO. Also, I hope even if you don't join DRDO, I hope it will excite you to work in defense R&D. I think we need a lot of new people to come into this domain, whether in DRDO or in startups or in our main industry. Because unless we increase our ecosystem, it was going to be very difficult and challenging to meet the growing needs. As you must have seen in the wars which are currently underway, disruptive technologies are playing a very critical role in how the wars are fought and how the wars are being won. So unless we now adapt to these disruptive technologies quickly, we will face a problem going ahead. So my objective of showing you this is to just show you where the world is moving towards when it comes to defense R&D and what are our plans in DRDO, so that some of you at least will get excited and join us in this journey. So as I said, the next generation capabilities that we need to build is underwater domain awareness, because as I said, we have vast oceans and detecting a submarine is detecting a pin in a haystack. If the submarine is operating at a depth more than 200 meters, it's almost impossible to detect it. Only when the submarine comes to about 100 meters or 50 meters is it detectable by today's technology. So this is an area where we need to build significant capabilities. Today only acoustics or sound waves are used to detect submarines. But there are several other technologies which are emerging, which are space-based, which use magnetic anomaly because of the movement of the submarine. The Earth's magnetic field gets disturbed. So these are some of the new areas which we need to build capability in. So this is an area which is of significant promise and is going to be a focus area for us. Then, as I said, space situational awareness is going to play a very key role. The number of satellites being launched by all countries, especially our northern neighbor, they launch more than 100 satellites a year. So unless we are aware of what these satellites are doing, we will be in for a shock when the actual war starts. So building space situational awareness capability is going to be very important. And again, we have started this effort, but a lot more needs to be done. And over the next few years, we hope to build this capability. Then, as I said, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Today, we have good capabilities in ISR, but you need persistent surveillance. So you need ability to provide the necessary information which a commander needs to win a battle, at not only periodically to him, but on a consistent basis. So these capabilities do exist today, but a lot more needs to be done. Robotics and unmanned systems, and I was glad to see some of the exhibits today. These are going to play a key role in future battlefields. As the battlefields become more and more autonomous, this capability is going to be very important, and we need to have fully indigenous capability in this to ensure strategic independence. Manned-unmanned teaming. See, as the unmanned systems increase in the battlefield, at least in the next 20, 30 years, you would need the manned systems and the unmanned systems to communicate and to operate simultaneously. So technologies which allow this in real time are going to be very important. And we have to build these capabilities. For example, if a fighter aircraft goes, there will be an unmanned combat aircraft going ahead of it. So the risk to the manned fighter will be less, because it's the unmanned fighter who will go ahead. But there has to be seamless communication and adjustment of tactics between the two platforms. So these technologies are going to play an important role, and these are some of the areas which we are looking at. And as I mentioned earlier, cyber defense. In fact, cyber warfare is a continuous war. It is not a declared, doesn't start when the war starts. Every day, India is among the highest attacked countries in the world when it comes to cyber. And especially in the military domain, it is going to be a decisive edge. Although I have not mentioned in my slide, cyber defense also includes cyber deterrence. You have to have the capabilities like you have in our strategic nuclear domain. You have to have a deterrence capabilities so that people don't attack you. So both cyber defense and cyber deterrence are going to play a key role. And this is especially where the young people can contribute significantly. And as I said, future battlefield is going to be network centric. All platforms, all soldiers have to get information in real time. The sensor and the shooter can be at different locations. But all this information has to come in real time. So satellite communication, software defined radios, all this these technologies will play a key role to ensure a decisive edge in any battles of the future. So the next generation platforms, as I also mentioned earlier, the advanced medium combat aircraft, which will be a 5+ generation stealth aircraft with internal weapon bay. So the weapons, instead of being carried undercarriage, will be carried in a closed bay underneath the aircraft. and they have to open in real time and drop the weapon. A twin-engine deck-based fighter, which will have a much longer endurance than a single-engine aircraft that we have developed for the Navy. A remotely piloted strike aircraft, which can work in tandem with our fighters. A high-altitude, long-endurance UAV. This is a capability for giving continuous ISR capabilities. So this UAV should be able to fly at 45,000 feet and should have an endurance of at least 24 hours or more. We will also need to develop a stratospheric airship or a high altitude platform. This can give persistent surveillance in a battlefield because it is more or less, it can remain stationary and it has to fly at 60,000 feet so that it can't be easily attacked by the enemy. So AEWNC Mark II, as I said, we have developed Mark I, which has a smaller endurance. This will be on a larger platform, a Boeing A321. So it will give a longer endurance and a longer range because you can fit larger payloads on the aircraft. Then high endurance autonomous underwater vehicles are also going to play a key role because one of the limitations in submarines is that the human endurance, although nuclear submarines can stay submerged for more than 6 months, it is very difficult for humans to stay under water for that long. So these submarines have to come back to the shore. So if you can develop high endurance autonomous platforms which can stay underwater as long as you desire, that will significantly add to your underwater detection capabilities. Then we are working on an indigenous conventional submarine. Although submarines have been built in the country, they have all been on technology transfers from foreign countries. And we have started a program now where it will be a totally indigenously designed, manufactured submarine within the country. Then we are looking at a future-ready combat vehicle, which is a next-generation main battle tank. We are looking at a future-generation infantry combat vehicle, a variety of unmanned ground systems, and we are also looking at a robotic soldier. So these are some of the next-generation systems we will be working on, and these will provide significant challenges as well as opportunities for both R&D, technology development, as well as system engineering. The next generation weapon systems and sensors I have listed out here. So hypersonic missiles are going to be the future of missiles because they give you, and I will explain it in the next slide. We are looking at directed energy weapons based on lasers, based on microwaves. We are looking at electromagnetic rail guns. We are looking at longer range multi-barrel rocket launchers. As I said, today's range is about 75 kilometers. But we are looking at, because if you have noticed in this wars, the economics of the weapons that you fire are also going to play a key role. Because earlier the assumption was that the wars will not last more than 10-15 days. But these wars have shown that they can go for more than 2 years, 3 years. So you need to use economically effective weapons. So these long-range rockets, instead of using more expensive missiles, are also going to be very important. We are also looking at supercavitation-based torpedoes. Current torpedoes are either based on electrical propulsion or thermal propulsion, and they can achieve speeds of about 50 knots. But with supercavitation technology, you can get speeds up to 200 knots. So they are the equivalent of the hypersonic missiles when it comes to underwater. So we are looking at, if you need to have the space situational awareness capability, you need to build very long range radars. To improve your ASW capabilities, you need to build very long range sonars. long-range electro-optic sensors. For space-based surveillance, you need ELINT and hyperspectral sensors, improved EW systems, high thrust to weight ratio aero engines for fighter aircraft. This is one technology which we have to master indigenously. We have successfully developed a Kaveri aero engine which can give a thrust of about 70 kilonewtons. But our current fighter aircrafts need higher thrusts, so we have to look at newer technologies. So we are planning to launch a program soon, and we are looking at a co-development model with a foreign OEM to develop a higher thrust to weight class engine. And hopefully in the next 10 to 15 years, we should have a fully indigenous capability for developing aero engines. Then we are looking at electric propulsion for ships as well as a electromagnetic aircraft launching system, EMALS, for our aircraft carriers. So these are some of the important next generation complex weapons and systems. So let me spend a brief time on hypersonic weapons or hypersonic missiles. Conventional ballistic missiles travel at hypersonic speeds, but they go outside the atmosphere. So they are easy to track with radar, and they follow a ballistic path, so you can predict where they will go and hit. Cruise missiles, which travel within the atmosphere, fly low, are harder to detect, but their speeds are either subsonic or supersonic. So they can be intercepted if detected because you give them enough time for interaction. So hypersonics combine the speeds of ballistic missiles, thank you, and they combine the low flying ability of the cruise missiles. So just to give you an example, if you have to travel 1,000-kilometer range, a subsonic missile would take 75 minutes. A supersonic missile would take anywhere between 17 to 20 minutes, whereas a hypersonic missile will take less than 10 minutes. So your detection time available, your ability to intercept becomes very challenging when it comes to hypersonic missiles. So the world is moving towards hypersonic technology. There are two types of hypersonic missiles. One with propulsion, that is called hypersonic cruise missiles. And the second one is hypersonic glide missiles, where you use a booster to give it the initial speed, and then subsequently you don't have any propulsion, but you have aerodynamic control surfaces which allow you to glide, to change directions. So both technologies have their challenges. We are working on both the cruise missiles as well as the glide missiles. And recently, if you read the news, we have had success in a hypersonic glide vehicle. It was called the Long Range Anti-Ship Missile, which we tested about a month back. And it was a very successful demonstration of the hypersonic glide capability. We are also working on longer ranges. One of the challenges in both the cruise and the glide vehicles will be the temperature rise because of the drag which comes in when you fly in the atmosphere. So how do you manage this temperature rise? How your airframes can sustain that rise is a major technology. So this is the boost glide phase. So you use basically a rocket motor to take the glide vehicle to the desired height and impart it the desired velocity or speed. And then subsequently it glides using the controlled air surfaces. The cruise technology is a greater challenge because you have to develop the propulsion, which is the scramjet propulsion technology. Scramjet propulsion, the temperatures in the chamber, the scramjet engine, can go as high as 1500 to 1600 degrees centigrade. So you have to sustain a supersonic combustion with that temperature rise, and to sustain it for long enough durations that you can get an effective weapon system is the current challenge. Although countries have demonstrated the hypersonic glide vehicle, nobody has yet flown successfully a significant hypersonic cruise mission. People have done short durations, but nobody has yet demonstrated a hypersonic cruise missile with a duration which will make it an effective weapon. So we are also working on this technology. And as I said, one of the challenges is to design the scramjet, but there are other challenges on the air intake and the materials which go into making the scramjet combustion. So let me also now highlight some of the key technologies, and as you can see, a lot of these technologies also have dual use. So this civil military fusion, which is now a big thing going ahead, is going to play a key role. Historically, it was the military technologies which used to drive civilian applications. Internet, lot of the telecommunication, the mobiles, those technologies started because of defense applications and then gradually came into the civilian sector. But in a lot of these new technologies such as quantum technologies, AI, ML, the civilian sector is far ahead. And now these technologies are being adapted for the defense sector. So these are some of the technologies which are going to play a key role, and whoever masters these technologies early will have a decisive edge in the battlefields of the future. We have also started, which is a very innovative concept, and this is thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister. He suggested in one of his visits to DRDO that why don't you start laboratories where everyone, including the director of the laboratory, is below the age of 35. So we have started 5 laboratories working in futuristic areas where all scientists, including the director, are below the age of 35. And they are working on artificial intelligence, asymmetric technologies, cognitive sensor technologies, smart materials, and quantum technologies. So we hope that these young scientists' labs will be like startups within the DRDO ecosystem. And they will branch out. We are now giving them options that in case they want to go ahead and start their own startup, we'll give them a 3 years lien where they can try out, and if they succeed, well and good. If they don't succeed, they can come back. So we are trying these innovative models to promote innovation within DRDO. So these are, I will not get into details. The cognitive sensor technology lab is working on cognitive radars, cognitive radios, and hopefully they work closely with our radar laboratory so they can introduce these cognitive features in the systems which DRDO is developing. The Smart Materials Laboratories is looking at bio-inspired micro-robots. They are looking at metamaterials for reducing acoustic signatures of submarines. They are looking at adaptive camouflage materials. So they are doing several exciting things. And the model we use is they are free to interact with academia, with startups, with MSMEs to develop these technologies. The AI laboratory in Bangalore is looking at deep learning, AI for speech, AI for NLP, biometrics, AI for vision. In fact, I think this AI laboratory has worked with IIT Bombay to come up with Mandarin to Hindi translation at our borders. And I'm glad to say that that product has been deployed in the borders by ITBP as well as BSF. So they have done face recognition, they have done a smart helmet, They have done night vision devices where the image processing is done using AI tools. The quantum technology laboratory is working on a quantum computing. They are partnering TIFR, and recently they have demonstrated a 6-qubit quantum computer. They have developed quantum communication. In fact, we have demonstrated a fiber-based quantum communication using about 100-kilometer range between Prayagraj and one city in UP. I don't recollect the name. So they have demonstrated, here they are working closely with IIT Delhi. So in addition, we have now started 15 centers of excellence in different academic institutions, and IIT Bombay has been one of our oldest partners. Earlier it was just called DRDO Centers of Excellence. Recently we have changed the name to say it is now a DRDO Industry Academia Centers of Excellence. And we are moving gradually to a model where all three, DRDO lab, IIT and an industry, can work together to develop, take a technology from low TRL levels to a commercialization by an industry. So hopefully these centers of excellence will act as a hub and spoke model similar to what MIT and Stanford did in the US in the 80s and 90s. So we hope that these centers of excellence will build an ecosystem of high-end research translated into technologies and then eventually commercialized into products. So for each of these centers of excellence, we have identified domain areas, but I will not get into the details. You can see the domain areas for each of the centers of excellence on our website. So basically, the message which I wanted to give you today, that the journey ahead is going to be very exciting. Because of this disruption which has happened, because of the new technologies which have emerged, the nature of warfare itself is changing dramatically. And when these changes happen, this is the best time to be in that. When a field is well established and there are no changes, there are not many opportunities for R&D. So today, if you are a youngster, this is a field where you should, if I were you starting my career today, I would definitely be interested in choosing this domain. So DRDO also offers you an area, an opportunity to work in any type of system you would be interested in, whether it is land, air, marine, space, or whether you want to work in pure technology. It offers you that opportunity. You can build a cross-domain expertise. When you work on a system, unless you have multidisciplinary skills, you can't deliver a system. So DRDO offers you an opportunity to build your expertise across domains. System engineering is again an area where we specialize in, because when you have subsystems from different fields, unless you do systems engineering, you will not get the optimized performance of your system. So systems engineering is a skill which you can develop if you join DRDO. We have lots of opportunities for academia engagement as well as industry engagement. I didn't mention it in my talk. We have now started a scheme known as Technology Development Fund, where we can fund industry, especially MSMEs and startups, up to 50 crores for any given project. So we can fund cutting edge R&D, we can fund projects which do indigenization, and we can fund projects which do incremental advances over existing systems. So all three categories we can fund. And our laboratories also mentor those industries if they need any mentoring. So this is a scheme which we have started, and earlier we used to fund up to 10 crores, but recently Honorable Raksha Mantri has increased the limits from 10 crores to 50 crores per project. So you have an opportunity to work closely with industry through such mechanisms. And of course, we have very close interaction with all three services. We have regular interactions. And now we are moving to a model where we work closely with the IDS, that is the Integrated Defense Staff, where the operational requirements of the services to fight the battles of the future, how they can be translated into technical requirements of the systems that would be needed. So we have a joint team with IDS to see how these can be then documented and disseminated to the larger ecosystem for the development. Hopefully in the next 2 years, the first such document, which is known as the Capability Development Plan for the services, should be released. So finally, let me say that DRDO allows you to explore the complete system instead of limiting you to just a specific small area. See, this is one thing which we need to improve as a country. If you see the number of researchers per million population, we have only 262 per million. If you look at Israel or Korea, they have more than 8,000. So if we have to become a leading technology nation, we have to excite a lot more of our youth to work in R&D. And as I said, even if you don't join DRDO, DRDO can provide you opportunities in terms of funding, working with us to work in this domain of defense R&D. So finally, let me end with our Honorable Prime Minister's speech. Making India self-reliant and a technology leader is the only way to ensure that the 21st century belongs to India, unquote. So with this, let me thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you. I'm open for questions.
Hello, sir. Just a small question. What do you think in future bio warfare defense? What are the progress you think should be happening?
So I didn't mention it, but we have a program for biodefense. This is going to play a very important role. As you are aware, COVID gave us a shock. In future, you don't know what kind of bio attacks will be there. So we have a strong program for biodefense. We have one laboratory which works exclusively on biodefense. We are setting up a BSL-4 laboratory to address all these very viral, or what you say, very infective viruses. And so we are setting up we currently have a BSL-3 facility, but we are setting up a BSL-4 facility.
Good afternoon, sir. I have two questions in mixed. One is like Elon Musk is working upon the robo missiles. So are we working like we are purchasing Rafales? But if there is a robo missiles, are DRDO working on that type of thing? And do we have air dome like Israel is having? So
I didn't understand your first question. What is a robo missile? I don't know, but the equivalent of the Israeli Iron Dome, we have a system in place, but it is not yet, I would say, deployed. Because unlike Israel, India is a very large country. And our threats are not from militias or terror organizations. Our threats are from larger countries which have significant capabilities. So having such a system which is cost effective is a challenge. Even if you see, even Hezbollah and Hamas could saturate the Israeli Iron Dome system by firing a large number of cheap missiles. So you spend more in defending an area. So whether it is cost effective is a decision which the government has to make. But so technologically we have, but it is not deployed.
I must say that this was the most articulated talk and best narrated with the clearest slides that you have here. So a great round of applause to the orator. Fantastic talk.
Thank you, Dr. Kamath, for. Now I request Professor Kedare and Professor Atre to present a memento to our speaker. Thank you, Dr. Kamath, for the illustrious talk. Very inspiring words, makes us fill with pride, and looking forward to the young researchers getting inspired and more of us collaborating and working with DRDO. Yes. So next I request our dignitaries on the stage to quickly unveil the booklet for Tech Connect, and with the unveiling of the booklet we formally announce the inauguration or opening of Tech Connect 2024 and TechFest 2024. So the booklet showcases all the exhibits, symposiums and ResCon which are happening under the umbrella of Tech Connect 2024 this year. The booklet is available, the e-version of the booklet is available on the Tech Connect 2024 website for everyone to able to see it. And it has a lot of contact information regarding a lot of work which is going at IIT Bombay, so that you can connect back to us truly through Tech Connect 2024. With that, I thank all the dignitaries and request you to. And that brings me as moderator of this session towards the last item, which is vote of thanks. I have to sincerely thank the director IIT Bombay, both the deputy directors, all the functionaries, particularly Dean of R&D, Dean of R&D, Professor Patwardhan, Professor Bhandarkar, Professor Suryanarayan Dula, Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Atul Srivastava, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, for driving us, inspiring us, putting a lot of time and effort, guiding us to conduct such a large event. Need to thank Professor KVK Prasad Rao, Deputy Director and Institute of Eminence, PIC, Professor Murugavel, for all the help and guidance with the financial matters of organizing such a huge event. I must thank a lot of people who have put in a lot of time and effort over last few months, I must say, starting from IRCC staff, Dr. Silekha Gopinathan, Ms. Tanvi, Mr. Rohan Bharadwaj, Preeti, Avni and Aniket. These guys have played an instrumental role in bringing everyone together, making sure that all the details come in place and happen the way it is supposed to happen. We need to thank Research Park, IIT Bombay Foundation, for proudly supporting us this year and becoming a partner with Tech Connect and Tech Fest. A big shout out for all the students. Mohan, who is here, and then we had Aleem helping us throughout with the Tech Connect, and then a huge array of coordinators and volunteers who have manned all our exhibits and conducted all the ground level work which is required for past few months for this event. So in the end, a big thank you from bottom of my heart to all the exhibitors who have who have responded positively to our expression of interest and then came out in large numbers to present the work which they are doing. They drive it with a lot of passion, which I am sure all of you will be able to see and connect with as you visit our stalls. and all of other workshops and symposiums which are happening under Tech Connect and Tech Fest. So with that, big thank you to all of you for taking out time, and I hope you have a great time at IIT Bombay over 17th, 18th and 19th of December. Thank you very much. I request all the dignitaries to just come up on stage for 30 seconds. We will do a quick picture because I know there is a very tight schedule which all of you have to keep. Professor Rao, Professor Dula, everyone, please come. Everyone from DRDO as well. It's a very unique occasion for us to have all of you here and host you for this event. Professor Rao, Professor Nataraj, Upendraji, please come. I will have to take everyone's name. Please come. Professor Raja, please join us. It's better this way. The ensemble we have, it would be a really nice memory to have everyone up here. Professor Gandhi, please come. Himanshu, अरे भाई, please. Thank you so much.